Most people identify with a live and let live ideology. That's because our instinctive intelligence tells us that we are connected and that social collaboration based on the core values of integrity, equity, and justice is the only sustainable approach to civilized relations. This ideology is based on the assumption that the human life experience is a temporary gift that we all have the opportunity to enjoy and share. It is a collective mindset predicated on love and a sharing and caring approach. This is close to a hive mentality. However, we all have an individual awareness and individual needs and wants to be satisfied, and we have freedom of choice. With close to 8 billion people on the planet, and with all those individual identities and needs, getting full cooperation on any particular issue would be impossible. However, it is possible to appropriately integrate our competitive nature into a collaborative system and achieve a harmonious society. Our ego is a very complex part of our psyche. It can propel us to achieve great things or to do terrible things. Unfortunately, our current leadership systems and structures cater to the darkest dimensions of our ego. The greed paradigm, or the what's in it for me mindset, our bully paradigm, or rule the world mindset, and they also exploit our tribal nature, our need to belong and to be special. These belief systems promote division, corruption, exploitation, and abuse, and none of those can lead to sustainable and harmonious communities. The greed principle, wealth is right, the I must own the world mindset, is based on the idea that life is a competition for the accumulation of wealth. Wealth provides access to power, and the values we've adopted in this greed-driven culture causes us to equate wealth with leadership qualities. The rich have become our heroes, and we are more than happy to give them control over our lives. This illogical assumption has positioned many wealthy people that have neither the competence nor the interest in serving the needs of the people in key leadership roles. Individuals in leadership roles of both the private and public sector should demonstrate a higher level of social responsibility, of spiritual intelligence, if we are to move forward, or we will continue down a path towards self-destruction. We must curb our excessive consumption and adopt a mindset for resolving problems as opposed to exploiting them. If we are unable to find an appropriate balance between the exploitive nature of the capitalist system, the greed of the ruling class individuals, and the needs of humanity, we will continue to experience social unrest and eventually economic collapse. The own the world mindset is a zero-sum proposition that nobody wins. So the big question is it possible to achieve a socially and morally responsible capitalist system? The second element of our ego that we must overcome is the bully principle, the might is right concept. The vast majority of us teach our children that bullying is wrong, that using violence to take someone's property or force them to do something that they don't want to do is unacceptable. And we would be outraged if someone was bullying our child at school or in the neighborhood. We generally denounce the idea of bullying in our homes, our churches, and our temples. Yet our entire system of economics and international relations is founded on and maintained through bullying. For thousands of years, the reality has been, if I have better weapons or a bigger army than you, then I have the right to come into your land and take your resources. So at what level of society does the might is right or bully principle become okay with you? At the community level, would home invasions and kidnappings in your neighborhood be okay if the victims were of a different creed or race? Or is it okay at the national level? Is bullying okay if it gets you a cheaper gas price? In some way or another, we are all forced to condone this bullying mindset because we all benefit from it, and it is still the go-to dispute resolution model for global conflict. This strong should rule mindset is an absolutely ridiculous dogma for 2022. Where it may have been appropriate 10,000 years ago, civilization has come a long way since then. Today's leadership decisions require analytical and critical thinkers of high character, not a 300-pound bench press. If we maintain this strong should rule idea as a leadership principle, we will continue to get ego-driven rulers with limited leadership skills that rely heavily on force and brutality to gain compliance. The rule the world mindset is also a zero-sum proposition that nobody wins. The third area of our psyche that we must bring under control is the hate principle or tribal mindset. Tribalism is a difficult phenomenon to shed. We have an innate need to belong and to socialize, and it's only natural for us to congregate with others that have things in common with us. And this need for us to belong has been used as an instrument to manipulate populations for centuries. When the principles of greed and bullying are introduced on a tribal level, it is very easy to get one group to hate another based on the idea that the second group poses some kind of threat to the well-being of the first. This divide and conquer tactic works if we buy into the assumption that life is a competition for domination between groups. Now, we haven't quite figured out if this imaginary competition is based on race, religion, or nationality. So we have a wide range of reasons to hate someone long before we figure out if they are a good person or not. Although we all know that we are one species occupying one planet and we have common problems, we are still stuck in this very tribal mindset. In our complex social networks, we have several tribal relationships: political, religious, nationalistic, ethnic, and special interest groups. Those are just a few of the tribes we belong to. And sometimes the values and beliefs of our tribes come into conflict with our personal core values. The biggest challenge we have is the ability to make individual decisions and commit to a personal position in the face of tribal peer pressure. If you want to contribute to a better tomorrow, when making decisions on big issues, shed your tribal identity and see yourself first and foremost as a human being. Then assess all the information that is available to you and make your decision after considering how it will impact your child and how it would impact a child halfway around the world. If you give both children the same level of love and consideration, you will make the right decision, or you may see room for improvement to the policy being considered. The key message here is, don't ever surrender your right to individual thought. Make informed decisions and let your conscience be your guide. Have a wonderful day.